listeners.
Hello there.
Welcome to our festive special for 2016 of Doctor Who Time and Space, a weekly Doctor Who podcast starring father and son duo Lewis Moon
And Dr. Cool.
Yes, so as we said, a very festive show. We've got all sorts of treats for you guys today. It's our last show for a while. We'll explain more details at the end about what's coming in the next couple of weeks in terms of schedule changes.
Okay. Well, what do we have on the show more generally this week?
We will have a preview for this year's festive special, The Return of Doctor Mysterio.
Oh. We'll also be talking a little bit about our favourite Christmas specials over the past few years.
We will be reviewing Christmas the possibly the most Christmassy episode.
Which was?
Last Christmas.
Yeah. We will be giving you some news and views from the Whoniverse, if there is such a thing at this time of year.
There is. And we will have we will be penning some festive stories for Who to Face. So
wow.
A big Christmas special. Apart
Jam-packed.
from the news, it's all Christmassy.
Yeah. More presents than Santa's sack.
Yes.
So, as a starting point then, we usually have a little chat around some of the things that we've been doing during the week, whether they're Who-related or just generally geek-related. What's you been up to then, my boy Moon?
I'll start with the Doctor Who things.
Okay.
First of all, we had... I watched The Runaway Bride, the second Christmas special yesterday. Again.
Okay. That's the one with Donna in it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You've never seen that one. Is that right?
Because Donna's in it.
Yes, and I know. I can tell you wouldn't want to watch it because it's... I mean, I've watched it quite a few times, but it's one that is quite fun. It's one of my least favourite Christmas ones.
Yeah.
But it's the typical sort of episode that you definitely wouldn't like.
In that it's got Donna in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just so... there's so many things about it.
Yeah.
As you may know, every Christmas I sort of watch the majority of Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
Every year I sort of miss a couple out, and then the next year we watch them again. So, you know, I'm doing all this week. There's going to be some planning to do Voyage of the Damned, the next Doctor, which I didn't. There was that was our randomizer last year.
Yeah.
I've got the Snowmen, Time of the Doctor, and Husbands of River Song planned.
Alright, so you're going to watch... So next week then, you should have loads of things to talk about in your what you've been doing last week section.
And it's an extra few days.
Yeah.
We're not filming on Christmas Eve, folks. But yeah, that was good to watch.
What about your big finish?
Oh, that is brilliant.
Is it?
That is absolutely fantastic.
Have you got to the end of it yet? Or
No.
there's still more to go?
But
You might want to just remind people what it is.
It's the Chimes of Midnight.
Okay.
It's a very popular one, I say every week. But I've parts 1, 2 and 3 done.
Yeah.
You know, one part left. It's a brilliant story.
Yeah. Really enjoying it, are you?
It's not really got a villain as such. The house is sort of the villain.
Sounds interesting.
Like, you always say that the typical Big Finish story has Daleks or Cybermen or Sontarans or the Master or some sort of villain that's been in, or monster that's been in Doctor Who in the past.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case.
Okay. I guess the thing is, I can't remember if I said it to you on air or whether it was off air.
It was off air. It's what I think.
I was making the point, wasn't it, in the fact that I guess they choose the famous villains more often than not because people already know what they're like, so they don't have to say, "Oh, look, it's a monster with a square silver head with handlebars on it."
Yeah.
So, you know, so it just makes it a little bit easier.
I just am really enjoying it. It is definitely by far the best audio I've listened to so far. Big Finish do some brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. They always have sales on. They don't have a sale on this weekend, I don't think. You can get Chimes of Midnight, and I'd really recommend it. You can get it on download. You can't get it on a proper CD, but you can get it on download for an amazing price of £2.99.
Ooh, that is a bargain, isn't it? So, aside from that, have you done anything else Who related?
I got Dawn, but we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
We did go and see a film,
We did.
and that was the new Star Wars, Rogue One.
Went literally a couple of hours or so ago,
Yes,
wasn't it? So
we're not
this
going to spoil anything on this podcast because it did only come out on Thursday.
Yeah.
But we can say it probably is the best Star Wars film.
I think so, yeah. And I grew up with the original ones, but there was something. It was really, really good. It surprised me how good it was. Actually,
it was really good.
The characters in it were really strong. It had a lot of feeling in it.
Yes.
And it linked really well with the existing Star Wars stories.
The ending's good.
Yeah. So I actually think, yeah, it's difficult because I guess it's not as magical as say the first couple of Star Wars.
But it's got
films.
hell of a lot of excitement in it.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot of action in it.
Yeah, definitely. And although it's not as magical, it more than makes up for that with the whole look and feel of the place. And we're going to a lot of different planets, don't we?
Yeah, it does look very good.
Yeah.
As always with the Star Wars film. I mean, the good thing is, even since it first started in the late 70s, it always looked good, Star Wars.
Yeah, no, indeed.
But now we've got even better effects in the modern days. It looks even better.
What I would say is that, I mean, a lot of people raved about The Force Awakens, and I enjoyed watching that last week, but I thought this was a lot better than The Force Awakens.
I would say I agree.
It didn't fit. I mean, sometimes, because of the expectations of The Force Awakens and the whole thing of having to integrate in all the existing characters and things like that, you could argue that at times it felt a bit forced. The Forced Awakens. Whereas this didn't really have anything like that, and it would, although there are links to
a few character cameos that we weren't really expecting.
Yeah. So although there are links, this story also operated really well in its own right.
Yes, it did. And I think if you can, go and watch it as soon as you possibly can, because it is brilliant. If you're a fan of Star Wars or Doctor Who in that respect, because, you know, if you're a fan of sci-fi, you should probably like Star Wars. Then go and watch it.
I'm just sort of, before we move on from this, because it isn't the Star Wars podcast, but I will ask you this: it had a 12A rating. Do you think that was right?
I don't know.
I mean, it feels
it's perfect for my age group because, you know.
I think it was a little bit darker, perhaps, than the other ones.
A
little bit more violent.
There was a lot.
A little more violent.
But,
a lot more things blowing up.
Maybe if you've got like really young children who are fans of like The Force Awakens or something, like, you know, how old would you say would be the minimum age?
Yeah,
to watch it?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I was sort of struggling with it a little bit. I mean, it's in the old. If I look back at it from when I was growing up, I guess it probably would have been a PG. Just because we didn't have 12s then.
Couldn't have been a 15.
No. So we'll see. Anyway, that was probably enough of that. But it's just I was just interested to see whether you thought. You didn't find it sort of like too much in terms of violence or scary or anything like that?
Not at all.
You're literally at that age, aren't you?
Yes.
So, okay. I mean, I won't talk too long about what else I've been doing because we've got a lot to get through today. But just to say that Walking Dead ended that first part of the series, and that really picked up. Really exciting end to the first half. More than made up for the slowness that we've had in some of the other episodes. And so from that, I've just been carrying on watching my Game of Thrones, and I'm now on season 3.
Yes.
Waiting to next one up, episode 3, season 3. So working my way through quite quickly.
Cool.
And brilliant watching it again as well.
I mean, we'll probably have next week a bit about things that have been on Christmas telly.
Yeah.
Or
no,
films
that's right.
that have been on at the Christmas period.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are other things on at Christmas than Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Even though it's the highlight for me. Is it the highlight for you?
It would be
at
one. It
Christmas?
would certainly be. Yeah, but in terms of new things, it probably will be. It's the, in fact, I haven't looked at it. It's probably the only thing I'm actually interested in of new television.
Yes.
And this time
Sherlock
next week,
will
folks.
be good, but that's
this time
on
next
a
week,
new year.
You'll only have one more day to wait for more Who.
Yes.
So, shall we move on then to
Yes,
our
we
next section?
shall.
So what are we going to go on to next?
We're going on to the news. So then, what a surprise! It's Christmas! We've got no Christmas themed news!
Oh,
not
even a Christmas style Lethbridge Stewart novel?
No, we don't, I'm afraid. No, we don't. So, issue 507 of Dawn, which we'll talk about what's inside that later on.
Yep.
All the issues of Dawn always have a few exclusive nuggets of little news. Over the last few issues, we've been learning writers like Rona Munro and Jamie Matheson returning.
Yeah.
Those were last issue. This issue, we found out that Toby Whithouse is returning to contribute an episode for Series 10. This episode will be the 8th episode of Series 10. And the 8th episode, we don't know what it's called yet, but we know his episode will be the 8th episode. His first episode was in 2006 when he wrote the return of Sarah Jane and K9 in School Reunion. He's also wrote, for Series 5, he wrote The Vampires of Venice. He wrote The God Complex for Series 6. The Town Called Mercy for Series 7. And he returned last year for the two-parter Under the Lake Before the Flood. Outside of Doctor Who, Whitehouse is perhaps best known as the creator of BBC's Being Human. He also wrote Torchwood Story, Greeks Bearing Gifts. So that's all you need to know about returning writer Toby Whitehouse.
And Being Human, if anyone hasn't watched it, it's a great series.
Would you recommend?
Definitely recommend it, yeah. Really, really good, really different.
Cool.
So, what
What's
other
that?
news do we have?
Sorry, if you may have noticed, by the way, guys, if you may have noticed that it sounded a bit weird when it was like Series 10 is contributing. We had a bit of an issue, but sorry. So, Stephen Moffat has revealed the extent of Nardole's involvement in Series 10 of Doctor Who. Moffat states that Matt Lucas's role has been extended greatly from an initial few episodes. He was contracted for certain episodes of the 2017 series, and he's crept into far more of them. I think he's going to end up being in all of them, in fact, because we love him. In the first episodes of next year's series, he's slightly broader, but we have more clearly established in this Christmas one that he's sly and clever and daft, but he's not just a rent-a-duffer as he was in The Husbands of Riversong, but where he was a relatively small character killed off early on, who happened to be played by Matt Lucas. This is a chance to slightly reconfigure him. He's a wee bit cheeky to the Doctor, but he's genuinely helpful and good at things. Matt Lucas... Oh yeah, sorry.
So I was just going to say, I'm still a little bit on the fence with him.
I'm not a big fan of Nardole's character. From Husbands of Riversong, that is. I mean,
yeah.
I'm intrigued to find out how his character will change in this episode, in the Christmas one, and in Series 10.
Yeah, no, that will be interesting, and I will not prejudge it.
No.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Matt Lucas adds to this. Nardole is the first non-human companion in quite a long time. He knows things even the Doctor wouldn't know.
Mm. I do like the idea of that, actually, of having a non-human companion as well. That is quite good.
Yes, I do, yeah.
Again, a little bit of a different dimension. I mean, when was the last time
Well, we
Doctor
haven't had one for New Who, actually.
No.
We've had... Let me think. Was Mel a non-human? I don't know. Ace wasn't. Perry wasn't. Turlo. I think it might have been Turlo.
Really? Turlo the last one? Well, so.
Think
Yeah.
so.
No, I think you're probably right, actually. We've had a few over the years, haven't we? But I mean, certainly we had the Romana incarnations.
Yes,
But,
Susan.
Yeah, no, that's right. But,
you know.
Okay, yeah, well, that would be interesting to see, won't it? To see
Yes,
how,
it will.
what that's like.
Class Series 1 has been confirmed to get a late night slot on BBC One. The show, which completed its first series run through the online-only BBC Three earlier this month, will be available to watch on broadcast TV beginning Monday the 9th of January 2017. So if you don't like watching things online and want to watch it on actual TV, it's on the 9th of January.
Oh, so it's coming up quite soon then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I just had a feeling they were going to wait until
Series 10.
until Series 10 came out.
Okay. But the news comes that the show will air at a late time of 11:15.
That is late, isn't it?
It is
That is
late.
very late.
It says, in terms of exposure, it is hardly likely to boost the show's profile. Its disappointing initial viewing figures too greatly, less than 60,000 per episode. BBC America will debut Class in spring. It is very late, isn't it?
It is very late, and it is very low in terms of its viewer numbers.
Very, yeah.
Very, very low. And,
It's very low.
when you think of the amount of effort that's gone into it, and the good reviews it has generally had.
Yes.
It's very disappointing. And
I mean,
to me, it just yet again. I mean, I would love to see what the viewing figures were like more generally for BBC Three in terms of new drama, but to me, it just seems to demonstrate that current platform, BBC Three, there as a sort of digital only service, just doesn't work.
no. Well, the BBC will be hoping for a much bigger audience for the BBC One showing, where the late night time slot has an average of just over 2 million viewers.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that would be enough to secure Class's second series? I mean, do you think it will be... Do you think the second series idea, do you think it would be based on popularity or, idea?
I think it wouldn't surprise me if they give it a second shot anyway with another series.
I mean...
Because sometimes things do need to take a bit of time to develop.
Do you think if they air it on BBC One and it's successful, do you think they'd air it on there from now on?
Maybe, yeah.
And then put it on iPlayer later on?
Yeah.
For a short time.
Yeah, I'd say I'm not completely sold on the whole BBC Three idea.
No.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's not the sort of thing that unless you were specifically going there to find something.
Yeah.
To me, it just feels that you'd probably miss out on a lot of stuff. I mean, I've only looked on BBC Three since it's gone online because of Class. Aside from that, I haven't been on there.
I don't like anything other than Class on BBC Three.
But I might have seen bits and bobs on BBC Three before it went
Oh yes,
on that, because I'd sometimes flick through the channels and you might see something and think, oh, that's interesting,
They
I'll watch
showed
that.
Doctor Who on there on BBC Three.
Well, yeah, not anymore, they don't.
They don't, but they did. I said
Yeah.
they showed,
Yeah, no,
but.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Do you think it would be good? Do you think they should do the iPlayer thing where you get to pay for it?
I do. Again, apologies to anyone that's heard me rant about this before, but to me, the BBC has got such a plethora of great material that they could quite easily do a very low cost subscription based service to support iPlayer, which features a lot of their programmes.
But they have the BBC store, do you think?
Yeah, but I think they could do it more on a sort of Netflix, Amazon Prime type style.
Yeah, because you have to pay for things individually.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any other news?
Dorm.
Dormy.
Dorm.
It's that time.
It's that exciting day every month where where Dorm is dropped through the door.
Yeah.
Dropped in the post. But Doctor Who magazine issue 507 celebrates this year's Doctor Who Christmas special, The Return of Doctor Mysterio. So that's what it's heavily based on.
Have you read any of it yet?
I've not read the previews yet, but I've read a bit of the magazine itself.
Yeah.
So, packed with exclusive photos and interviews, issue 507 of Dawn looks forward to the 2016 Christmas special and is packed to the brim with bonus seasonal treats. The things inside of the Return of Doctor Mysterio preview is a normal style episode previews they would usually do, as well as interviews with Matt Lucas, aka Nardole, and Justin Chatwin, aka The Ghost or Grant. The fact of fiction this month puts a Christmas story under the microscope with the Runaway Bride. There's a brand new comic strip adventure called Be Forgot, which I've read. It's quite good.
It's always one of your favourite bits, comic strips, isn't
it?
Yeah.
It's got some subtle Christmas references.
Yeah. Who's the companion in it at the moment?
Well, the Doctor's actually living somewhere with his companion called Jess, who looks surprisingly like Pearl McKee. But he's living at a house with with a family, with Jess's family.
Oh, right, okay.
It's weird.
But it's presumably not...
It's not Pearl McKee because Pearl McKee's called Bill.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
All the latest merchandise is previewed and reviewed, which is sort of like a sort of Christmas list style thing. In-depth interviews and features, got news, prize-winning competitions, the legendary Christmas crossword and quiz, which are extremely mentally hard, which I don't get it, and much, much more. The magazine is on sale now. From at £5.99. Something else that you can get is the yearbook, the 2017 yearbook, which is out now. I personally haven't got this yet. The 2017 yearbook contains all sorts of things. See if I can go to the Dawn magazine website and find out. Celebrating 53 years of adventure in space and time. DoctorWhoMagazine.com. And it's what a surprise, it doesn't say anything about the yearbook.
So do they always do a yearbook every year?
They do, yes. And the yearbook basically has all sorts of things. And they've done it since 2015, so this is their third one. Okay. Obviously, it doesn't have episode sort of overviews as it usually does. It takes a look at all the merchandise from this year. Takes a look at class, things at the Doctor Who experience, the Doctor Who fan show.
Probably been a bit more challenging for them putting it together this year.
I think the great podcasters of Radio Fruscara are in it. I don't know, but I think they are.
Maybe we'll be in 2017 one. Who knows?
The 2018 one.
Yeah, sorry, 2018.
Yeah, but that'll be easy to compile that one, so they won't need anyone for that.
Yeah.
They always have loads of stuff for that.
Do you usually get these books?
I have got all of them so far, apart from this year's because it came out on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it should come through as a subscription?
No. I think it's good enough value, isn't it?
Yeah.
The subscription. So definitely works out a lot cheaper subscribing to it, folks.
Yes, it does. So I'd recommend you do that because it comes through your door a bit earlier. Well, you don't have to bother going to the shop shops.
Yeah.
Mine did come on the day it came out.
Right. Yeah.
Usually it comes the day before.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
As long as it didn't come out later than in the shops,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, so anything else to comment on that, or anything else to comment on the news in general?
Nothing in the news this week, apart from all the things we talked about.
Okay.
Should we pause now?
yeah, so
And we are
move on.
going on for a preview of this year's Christmas special, The Return of Doctor Mysterio. Christmas Day. It's the most wonderful day of the year. Presents and food and Doctor Who. You see, we haven't had Doctor Who on our television since The Husbands of River Song. So these previews are probably going to change a lot because I probably forgot what we did last time. I'm going to remember as much to the point of what we did for the previews when we did them for Series 8 and for Series 9. What we basically do on these previews, I mean, we'll be doing them for Series 10. So this is our first episode preview since, the break. But we basically talk about what we know about the about the episode, and we talk about our predictions. We talk about what we think of the episode and what it's going to what it looks like. We're going to round up some of the news, some of the synopsises and times and dates and all sorts of things, which we can confirm.
Okay.
So, Return of Doctor Mysterio.
So you're going to start off by giving us a bit of a synopsis?
Yes.
Or something, yeah?
This Christmas sees the Doctor join forces with a masked superhero for an epic New York adventure. With brain-swapping aliens poised to attack, the Doctor and Nardole link up with an investigative reporter, the mysterious figure known only as the Ghost. Can the Doctor save Manhattan? And what will be revealed when we see behind the mask?
Oh.
The Christmas special, then. From that synopsis,
Yep.
what do you think? I mean, this one is quite different because this is the first, if not only time, we have or are going to see superheroes in Doctor Who in the form of ghosts, in the form of the Ghost or in his human form, Grant. What do you think of this this Christmas special and its overall idea so far before it's aired?
Okay, I mean, to me it sounds. I mean, you mentioned to me off air that you'd heard that it wasn't an overly Christmassy episode.
No, because the screening thing was this week, I think.
But I think they've not aimed to do that this time round. Probably because it's difficult to keep getting new ideas for very, very Christmassy episodes without them being very, very samey. They've done snowmen, they've done Santa. What's left. So it looks like what they've done instead, and judging from some of the things that that Peter Capaldi and Stephen Moffat have mentioned, is they've gone more for the feel of the type of programmes that people enjoy watching on Christmas.
Yes.
So Capaldi mentioned, I think it was Capaldi, had talked a lot about the Christopher Reeve Superman films.
Yeah, and Stephen Moffat did actually mention it. And the clock. I mean, the relationship between Charity Wakefield's character Lucy and Grant, or the Ghost, will be a bit like Lois Lane's.
Yeah, no, definitely. You can see that.
Relationship with the with Superman.
Yeah, so I think definitely they've taken that sort of view instead. So if they're not going to be able to make it overly Christmassy, what else do people like on Christmas Day? Well, they like the big matinee blockbuster, like superhero films or like Raiders of the Lost Ark, all these sorts of things, and they're going to go for that sort of action-packed thrill ride, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be overly Christmassy. It will probably be set at Christmas, but that's probably it.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's your thoughts on that? Does it bother you that it's not Christmassy?
necessarily. I mean, one thing I do hate about Doctor Who. I don't hate anything about Doctor Who. I said this last night. One thing I don't like about the Doctor Who Christmas specials is when they cram in unnecessary Christmas references.
Yeah.
It's like in The Runaway Bride, there were quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens. So if there's no necessary Christmas references that are needed in the Christmas special, then maybe it's for the better.
Yeah.
It's like last year, they crammed in a Christmas reference with subtle Christmas references with the Doctor wearing antlers or River Song dressed as Santa.
Yeah. Yeah, but there were bits that worked really well with that, though. It's like the whole thing of him being grumpy when he answers the TARDIS door and stuff like that. So, but I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Okay, what do you think about the whole idea of superheroes in Doctor Who?
It's quite interesting. Presumably, there's going to be some sort of twist to this whole superhero idea with Doctor Who.
You think
some sci-fi sort of twist. Unless they're just going to go for a normal, traditional superhero story.
Yeah, no.
But I think there will be some sort of superhero twist. I mean, presumably, the superhero himself will, instead of guarding the world by villains, probably guarding the world from aliens.
Yeah.
Alongside the Doctor, Nardole and Lucy.
And I still think that the whole idea of somebody having superpowers, chances are he's probably an alien.
Yes.
The Ghost is probably a humanoid alien.
Yes,
Might be wrong,
he probably is.
But that would explain why somebody would have superpowers.
It would.
What are you thinking? What do you think about the characters that we're aware of so far? So we know, obviously, the Doctor. We know him quite well now.
Yeah.
We're presumably going to see his more light-hearted sort of character. We've talked a bit about Nardole already.
Yep.
But what about the people like the Ghost, from what you've seen from the clips and everything? What do you think?
We haven't seen much particularly of the Ghost himself. We've seen him in a clip. We've seen him shortly in a clip.
Yeah.
And we've seen pictures of him.
Yeah.
He looks like quite a cool superhero.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite interesting how they do the human and sort of superhero sides.
Yeah.
Do you think it will turn out he's some sort of shapeshifter or something?
I just think he will be a human that's either been touched by aliens in some way or other, or comes from another planet.
What we do see the young version of Grant in this story, which the Doctor seems to be visiting in the pictures. What do you think of that?
No,
do you think he'll influence something in his life?
That's quite likely, isn't it? Maybe there'll be something that happens which makes him decide that he wants to become a superhero. Maybe.
Yes.
But, yeah. Maybe. How do you think? And we'll talk a little bit more generally about Christmas specials shortly.
Yeah.
But it's probably fair to say that the reception to Christmas specials tends to vary significantly from people really enjoying them to actually hating them.
Oh yeah, there's quite a lot of haters.
Some of the Christmas episodes being pretty loathed, really. I mean, if you take, for example, the Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely loathed.
People really hate that, don't they?
Yeah.
What do you think, from what you've seen of this one so far, what's your gut feel on it? Is it likely to be one which is going to be liked or loathed?
I mean, I said this last year actually, but I said it's not. I said for Husbands of River Song, it doesn't look like it's going to be one of the better ones, but it did turn out to be one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I'm saying this one as well doesn't look like one of the better Christmas specials.
No.
It's not up. It wouldn't be up there for me with The Snowman and Last Christmas and Husbands of River Song and
but that's without
the Christmas Invasion.
It, so,
that's without seeing it. I mean, the episode will obviously be on Christmas Day.
Yep.
At 5:45 p.m. and that's on BBC One.
So a little bit earlier than normal.
But really, it's quite a nice time to have it on.
No, I think it is.
A lot
it's good
earlier
fun,
than a lot earlier than the series would be on. It's just after Bake Off, the Great British Bake Off, and it's just before Strictly Come Dancing.
Okay.
So
Excellent. Good. So for someone like me that hates Strictly Come Dancing, I can quickly turn it off.
what we do know is there's going to be a trailer for Series 10.
Yes, that's quite exciting news, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
I don't know how
it's-
long it will be, but
Yeah.
I'd guess it would be about a minute.
But that's always a great way of getting your mouth watering, isn't it? About
Yeah, because it doesn't make you feel like, oh, the Christmas special's over.
Yeah.
It just makes you look forward to what's coming next.
Yeah, and immediately you get the trailer. It sort of excites you a little bit, doesn't it? Because you see some of the monsters and things like that you're going to be meeting, and it starts to build up that sort of gradual enthusiasm for returning Who.
Well, you can see our thoughts on next week's podcast on the Return of Doctor Mysterio with our full, probably 20-minute review.
Yep.
We always have the long reviews.
So, should we? I mean, we've not got a huge amount of time, but should we talk a little bit more generally about Christmas episodes?
Yeah, sure. Christmas specials!
Christmas specials.
Let's talk a bit about Christmas specials then. What sort of things... Well, this was your idea for an article. Can you explain a little bit about what sort of things we're going to be discussing in the next few minutes?
I think the key things.
It's a short
would be,
article.
yeah, fairly short one. But I think what do we want to see in a Christmas special,
Yeah.
and then what episodes do we think have worked and which ones haven't worked?
So the best ones and the worst ones?
Yeah, really, basically. So starting off, let's kick off then. Think a little bit about the Christmas special. We generally they tend to be fairly light-hearted affairs.
Yeah.
Other than Time of the Doctor
Yes.
and End of the World, perhaps.
End of time.
End of Time, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the title, you can guess that.
Yeah. But what would you normally expect? I mean, when you settle down to watch your Christmas Doctor Who, what are the things that immediately you think I want to see in this?
I want to see a fun story, a light-hearted story.
Yep.
I don't want to see something which is either boring, complicated,
Yeah.
or hard to understand.
Yeah.
I think it's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
You want something a bit different than normal Doctor Who. You want something more fun. You want it to be set at Christmas or have some sort of Christmas scenery, so it feels nice.
Yeah.
You want some Christmas references. Not necessarily have the whole episode based around Christmas, unless it's needed. But have a few Christmas references put in there, like say, or some sort of Christmas villains or characters that could be added in as little treats.
Why is it then that for something like Doctor Who, for our Christmas episode, we want everything to be light-hearted and funny and cheery, and yet for our soap operas, we want there to be at least one death?
Because soap operas, we know every year there's always some sort of epic thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's on at a later time of night.
Yeah.
When you're sitting down, maybe eating some little snacks in the evening,
Yeah.
or just before you do so, or recovering from your Christmas dinner thing, then you want something light-hearted at just before 6.
Yeah.
About every year. You want something to be, less, not very explosive, or not very, not very complicated or annoying or.
Although
boring.
actually, you think about it, some of the Doctor Who Christmas specials, I mean, for instance, Last Christmas, we'll be coming on to in a bit more detail when we do our review, actually is quite complicated.
It is,
in a way.
yes, but it kind of works.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the sort of things that I think you need to have is what you want for your Doctor Who Christmas special is something that the whole family can sit down and enjoy.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Really, it's, as you said, not necessarily even have to concentrate too much on. They can sit there, because let's face it, a lot of the adults have drunk too much wine or beer, so you still want to be able to take it in, even though you might not be thinking properly.
Yeah.
And the kids as well. There's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there, during the day? So
Yeah.
yeah. Do you look forward for Christmas specials to the same extent as you do a series in its own right?
No, because there's other things happening at Christmas.
Yeah.
There's there's always things happening, but Christmas Day is a massive day. There's so many things going on.
Yeah.
And lots of TV on. I think it's not as exciting every year for an episode.
Yeah.
However, say if they did the specials again, I would be excited to see it in May or something. But I get more excited for the series because there's 12 episodes, 12 45-minute episodes, rather than one 60-minute episode.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Okay, well, let's think a little bit about the Christmas episodes that we've had over the last few years. Perhaps if you could give me some examples of 3 that you think have worked really well and 3 that you think haven't worked
I
very
think
well, and why.
the perfect Christmas special. It's not the best Christmas special, but the perfect episode at doing all of the things that we explained earlier.
Yeah.
Was last year's The Husbands of River Song.
Yes. Yeah, it probably
was
did, actually.
brilliant at doing what it did.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's light-hearted.
Yeah.
It's a thrill ride. Yet it's still got some emotional scenes, and it's still a great episode.
Yeah.
The Snowman. I like the Snowman.
Yeah.
Is this the best episode, or the one that?
I think that the 3 that you think are the best Christmas episodes.
Okay, yeah, the Snowman.
Yeah.
And Last Christmas.
Yeah. So actually, if I've worked this out right, that's the last 3, isn't it? The 3 most recent ones.
No, Time the Doctor.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's right. That was in between, wasn't it? Okay. So.
I'm not that predictable. I do love the Christmas Invasion as well.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to ask you then is, so you've identified those 3. What are the 3 that you think haven't worked so well for you?
I don't particularly like the Runaway Bride that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't mind it. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe.
Why do you think people hate the Doctor, Widow, and the Wardrobe?
I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it, but
Yeah.
it's not the best Christmas special. It's not the best episode ever.
Yeah, it's just odd, isn't it? Because generally people don't seem to like that one for
Yes.
whatever reason, and I think the basic concept of it is quite good.
I would say
I quite enjoyed it.
also the now we watched no episodes which didn't work very well.
Mm-hmm.
The episode, I'm going to put this in, the episode which did least well at doing what we said earlier probably is Time the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It's too, there's too much going on. It's too complicated.
Yeah.
It's quite, it's not that light-hearted.
It would actually worked well at the end of the season, isn't it? I think
Yes.
both of us probably agree that we don't really like regeneration stories being the Christmas special.
Yes, I mean, it's a bit better when it's the first story, would you say? Just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the one that surprised me that you didn't mention there was Christmas Carol.
Oh, no.
Because you generally, I know a lot of people really like that one, but that's not one of your favourites
I
by any
don't
means,
mind
is it?
it.
Sorry,
It's not one of my favourites by any means. I'm saying here the ones that, not necessarily I don't like the lead. I'm saying 2 which I don't really like, the bottom 2, and I'm saying, and the top 2 for each of those, and the one episode that I think worked the best.
Right, okay.
If they weren't one of the top 3.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if I was thinking of my top 3, and I've not seen a lot of the early ones, so it's probably difficult for me to comment too much, but I think I'd probably agree with you on my favourite ones, albeit in probably a slightly different order.
Yeah.
But
I didn't say mine in order. I
okay,
just said
okay.
mine.
Ones that haven't worked so well. I mean, the ones I've seen, they've all worked pretty well.
Yeah.
it's just that I didn't like them as much as the other ones. But as I said, I've not seen ones like the Runaway Bride. And from what you were saying earlier, there's every chance that would be a good example of the sort of episode I don't like, because I don't know if I said it's got Donna in it, but Donna just, to me,
Donna's Donna's even more annoying than she is in the series.
Right. So. Okay. And Donna, I know a lot of you guys out there really like Donna, but I don't.
I'd say that Donna's like as likeable as Leela in the series 4 compared to the.
Yeah, she's just very, 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 very irritating. Oh, I'd love to see Leela back. Oh, love Leela. Favourite
back
companion.
For an audio.
Yeah,
John
that
Burt.
is true. Okay. So. Yeah, I mean, do I have anything else to really add on the Christmas things? I'm just hoping it's going to. We've gone a whole year without having any Doctor Who. I'm just hoping it's going to have been worth the wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. The wait isn't for me. The wait isn't for this Christmas special. It's for the series 10.
So, are you what are you looking forward for most? The actual Christmas episode, or the fact that you're going to get a trailer for season 10?
I always love the trailer.
Yeah.
No, 60 minutes of Doctor Who's great. So yeah, I would say the 60 minutes. But then I can watch the trailer over and over again, so I like the trailer.
Yeah, okay.
And we can milk it out in the podcast.
Well, of course, when we speak to you next, which will be what day is it we're going to be doing this?
Yeah.
It might be worth just explaining that now, because it will lead in to something.
Oh yes. We will be doing our next week. We'll explain how things will work from then on a bit more later on. But the next episode, where we will be reviewing the Christmas special this year, and much more, will be on Holiday Tuesday, so the 27th of December.
So ordinarily we'd be here on the Saturday, but with that being Christmas Eve,
yeah,
we're not going to
both
get
busy. I mean, we'll both see each other, but that will not be time to do the podcast. That will be our fun time.
But folks, look at it another way. That means that the following week you'll get us twice.
Yes, and
so
we'll explain.
We'll explain.
Yeah, we'll explain. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Anything else to say about Christmassy stuff?
Not really.
Or shall we move on to?
Yeah, let's move on to our Christmas randomizer episode, which was last Christmas. So, last Christmas I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. This year, surrounded by tears, I give it to someone special.
So anyone that's actually tuned in at that point will think this is actually a Wham podcast.
No, but it isn't.
Not a Doctor Who podcast.
It's a Doctor Who podcast, and we are reviewing Last Christmas because every Christmas is Last Christmas. Can you please explain, before we get on to our review of Peter Capaldi's first Christmas special, can you explain a bit about it and its story?
A bit of a synopsis?
Yep.
Okay. So before we do that, I mean, effectively, anyone that was listening last time will know that we set up a special Christmas randomizer, which randomly selected a Christmas episode for us to talk about. This was it pulled out The Last Christmas for us, which basically was based starting off on Christmas Eve. Clara is the returning Clara, I should say.
Yes.
Is woken up by the sound of a crashing noise on the rooftop. She hears all these voices, and when she goes to investigate, she discovers that it's none other than Santa Claus himself, 2 owls, a flying reindeer, and a sleigh that seem to be stranded on her roof. There's a little bit of discussion between the various ones of them as to how real this moment is, and she claims that Santa Claus is a sort of fairy tale, and then I think, if I remember rightly, Santa then says something about we're used to fairy tales or something like that, and at that stage the Doctor appears, another legendary character. He whisks Clara away, and next sort of scene we head to is the North Pole, and the North Pole is the main setting for the majority of this particular story. At the North Pole, we find a group of scientists trying to save the various other members of the base who have been taken over by these weird, slimy, crab-like creatures that basically suck themselves onto your face and feed off your brain, and their sort of defence mechanism is to pump these dreams in. So people think they're just dreaming, they think they're asleep, but actually what's happening is they're being killed by these creatures, which is a fantastic idea, I think.
Yes.
Well, it's a horrible idea, but a really cool one.
It's a really Stephen Moffat.
Yeah. So basically, the Doctor and Clara they disrupt the personnel sort of. They sort of arrive just as these things start attacking, don't they? And they all sort of like, it looks like they're being sort of sucked onto, and at which stage Santa Claus again comes just at the right time, as he always does.
Sweet Papa Crimbo.
Sweet Papa Crimbo, yeah. And basically, you know, all feels hunky dory. You have another little bit of dialogue around whether or not Santa Claus is real. It takes a while, but then after a certain period of time, the Doctor realises that actually they're possibly all in the dream. And that's probably what I want to say, really, because I don't really want to spoil it too much, albeit that there will always be spoilers in these reviews, but we're very much in dreams within dreams territory here.
Yes, we are. It is. Should I go on to thoughts?
Yeah, go on to your thoughts on it.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant. Last Christmas. This is actually my favourite Christmas episode.
Is that?
It has such a clever idea
Yeah.
to it. It has such cool monsters.
Yeah.
A few good characters in it. Some great concepts set up.
Yeah.
Good links to Christmas. I mean, the good thing is Santa's involvement. Technically, you don't really know if Santa's real or not by the end of this one.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about it.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, when Santa appears, they basically they come to the point where they realise that Santa's involvement is the brain's own method of kicking back against the dream crab. What the dream crab's called again? Can you remember their official name?
The Cantrafari.
That's it. Yeah.
I only just remembered that.
Yeah.
Is it on here? No.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my thoughts in tow. I also really like this one. I'm not sure I necessarily liked it quite as much as I did the first time round.
No,
Just because
Yeah.
the first time round you had all the surprise of the dreams within the dreams and things.
Yeah.
There's bits of it I'm not so keen on. I find I really like the scene with Clara in the dreaming about Danny Pink, but I think it's a little bit overdone.
Yeah. I like the bit with the textbooks.
Yes, I really like that as well. Yeah. So yeah, there's a few bits I'm not so keen on, but the basic concept of it, the whole idea of the dreams within a dream, I think is brilliant.
Oh yeah, it is a brilliant idea. Well done,
Yeah.
Mr. Moffat,
Yeah.
once again.
Because we've probably all had these sort of involvements where we sort of like do have a dream and we're not sure whether we're really in the dream or not.
I know.
You know, so it's a great little idea. What do you think of the cast then? 'Cause we've got quite a number of different characters in this
we
one.
have Patrick Troughton's son in it.
Yeah, that's right.
The only man of the crew.
Yeah.
But, he's alright.
Yeah.
You know, he's not in it that much.
No.
But it's good to see him in it.
A lot of people were keen on the idea of Shona, who's probably the main one of those of the crew.
Oh, I don't like her.
Yeah. See, I do. I really like Shona. I think she would have made a good companion.
I see why people like her. I just hate her because of the dance sequence. You may remember my hatred for Shauna from the our review of this a couple of years ago.
Your thoughts on that though are 100% purely based on that dance sequence, aren't
Yes,
they?
they are.
Yeah. If that dance sequence wasn't in it, you'd probably be calling for her as a companion.
No, I wouldn't, because I just don't like her. She's
Yeah.
just so annoying and idiotic. And why would you want to watch something that you're actually in?
I like that. Yeah, because you noticed, didn't you, anyone? Because I mean, Shona's played by
Faye Marseille.
who plays the waif in Game of Thrones, and when she
I thought you were going to say to me who she plays, and I have no idea.
no. And she's got on this list at one point of things to do, and one of them is to watch Game of Thrones. So that's a funny little Easter egg in there. What do you think? I mean, I don't know what you thought about when Series 8 came to an end, and it did the little section that was the lead up to the Christmas episode, where the Doctor suddenly woke up and Santa Claus was there.
Yeah.
I just thought this Christmas episode is going to be stupid.
Oh yeah, that's what happened, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I forgot about that.
I just thought this Christmas episode is going to be really, really silly. I thought
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of. I really like Nick Frost, but and he makes a great Santa Claus. But I didn't want to see Santa Claus in Doctor Who. But the way that they brought it in, based around that sort of defence mechanism in the dream,
Yeah.
is actually very, very clever.
It is brilliant.
Because it meant it gave you a. Let's face it, the only thing they could probably do to make something more Christmassy is if Jesus had walked in
Yes.
as a baby. Although he probably wouldn't have walked in. To be fair.
You stole my joke.
But if he'd have sort of like been moved in under Mary and Mary's arms or something. But aside from that, probably Santa Claus is the most Christmassy thing you can actually picture. So to have got that in there without it being stupid is really, really well
Yes.
done.
Should we? Have you got anything else to mention?
I did want to. I will use the spoiler word here.
Spoilers.
Just wanted to ask you about what you thought of the ending of it.
Okay.
Because you get the scene where Clara, the doctor sort of has got out of the dream himself. All the various other people have come out of the dream, but Clara seems reluctant to leave the dream. So the doctor sort of goes back to her house, finds her lying there with the dream crab stuck to her face, and when he gets it off of her, using that magic, it can solve anything, something screwdriver, Clara's really old.
Yes.
And then, I can't remember what it is, we only watched it about an hour or so ago. I can't remember the reason why he then suddenly realises that they're still dreaming, can you?
Santa comes along.
Oh, you're right, yeah, Santa comes in again, doesn't it? So they realise that Clara is still, or he's still dreaming about being in that situation. So, yeah, then it goes back and he peels it off for real, blah blah blah. That sort of then leads into Clara and the Doctor going off into the TARDIS and obviously going to start their adventures again, having sort of it come to a sort of fairly natural ending at the end of Death in Heaven.
Yes.
What's your feeling on that?
I would rather have her left in Death in Heaven. I like Clara as a companion, but I would have rather she left.
It was a good ending, wasn't it? Because
It was,
of the
yeah.
fact that you had both of them lying to each other,
Yes.
because they didn't want to stop them from doing what they had to do. That would have been a logical ending. But there we have it. I think it went well. I'll tell you what I would have written.
Yeah.
If I'd have written that, I think I would have ended it at the episode of the Last Christmas with, as they disappear into the TARDIS, Santa Claus then walking back in again. So you think, actually, are they still dreaming?
Yeah.
I would have really liked that.
And then
That would have
whole of Series 9 you'd be
been-
thinking.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. But there. So that's all my thoughts on it, really.
Okay. Scores?
Scores.
Scores on doors. Knock knock. Monsters or villains?
Let's think a bit about the dream crabs then. I think it's a really creepy idea and they look really good. I think they're really good monsters. They're very much, there's something you couldn't really use again too much.
Yeah.
But as a one-off villain, I would give them an 8, I think.
Character development.
I think there is a lot of character development in it. I don't think it's necessarily the strongest points of the episode, because I think if anything those are the bits that possibly drag it down a little bit, but I'm going to say a 7 for that.
Excitement.
It's quite exciting, actually. Is it an 8 exciting or 7 exciting? I think I'll have to go with a 7 excitement.
Pace.
Good pace to it. I'll give that an 8.
And story.
Story is a very good story, actually, and it's also, it's not afraid to own up to its influences. So they make some joke about the things being a bit like the monsters in Alien. It's exactly what they're like. So I think that's quite good. I think if you can make fun of yourself in that respect, then that's a good thing. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay, so you've got 38 out of 50.
Okay.
Quite a good score.
Yeah.
Overall scores.
Overall scores. The Christmas ones generally aren't as strong as a lot of the ones in the series,
No.
but in terms of doing what it does, being a Christmas episode and still managing to stand up on its own 2 feet, I think it's probably gonna. I think I'll give it something like about a 7.8. I think.
Gonna give it a solid 8. For me.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Well, next week we've got no randomizer
No,
because we will be reviewing
Return of Doctor Mysterio.
Yeah.
So
And then we'll
second Christmas special of 2016.
Yeah. And then we'll be pressing the magic randomizer in next week's show for our final
Time in
randomizer selection in 2016.
Yeah.
Good. So that brings us on to one final bit of the show.
Yes, and that is our Christmas special of Who to Face. Okay, so Who to Face?
Who to face?
We did this last week. We usually do it every other week, but as it's Christmas, we thought I will give you a double helping.
Mainly because we fancy doing a Christmas special.
Yes, and we can't really do one of those for 3-minute rant or quiz or question.
Mm-hmm.
So, Who to Face? We've got a spreadsheet, a bit like a randomizer, or the randomizer. There's only one, apart from the one in the TARDIS. You've got loads of monsters and villains, and loads of doctors, all of the doctors. We press a button, comes up with both of them, and we have to come up with a story with that doctor facing that monster or villain. Today we have to create, which makes it even harder for us, which may be even funnier for you guys, but not for us. Maybe for the other one. And that is for us to create a Christmas-style story featuring the Doctor and that villain.
Okay, so let's flick over to the randomizer Christmassy Who to Facey thing. Right, shall we press it? Are you going to press it?
Hopefully it's a monster which can have Christmassy stuff.
I'm sure anything can.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. So,
Smilers.
we've got... Oh, that's a good one, actually, that. So,
yeah.
the 12th Doctor being...
Peter Capaldi.
The Smilers being...
The creatures from the beast below.
Okay.
It's your turn to go first this week. That gives you an advantage, basically, because we probably have the same story, I think.
Okay, all right, here we go. I'll give you my idea to start with. It's called... This one is going to be called The Sought After Gift.
Okay.
Okay, and it follows in the same vein of what you see every year, where there'll be some new toy that comes out that everybody wants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like you had the Buzz Lightyear for a while, and you had like Furbies and various things. I'm not sure what it is this year. Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, but anyway, in this particular year, the craze are these miniature Smilers that suddenly start coming out on the market, and so all the kids are after them. The Doctor becomes really suspicious because he recognising the look of these Smilers as being fairly common. He recognises them from his time in that episode that you talked about earlier on,
The Beast Below.
The Beast Below. So he actually buys one himself.
Yep.
And starts sort of messing around with it, hitting it with its sonic screwdriver, etc., etc. And as he does so, it starts to come to life. And to start with, it's only in a sort of miniature figure type form, but then it starts slowly growing and growing and growing into a full size.
Okay.
And the Doctor therefore sort of realises that it's a problem, and he realises that actually what we've got here is some kind of invasion, and come a certain trigger point, i.e. Christmas Day, all of these would turn into life-size Smiler killers,
Yeah.
which
Cool.
will start trying to kill off the human race. But it's not limited to just that, because also the Smilers have actually integrated these sort of like explosive devices into presents more generally. So people
cool.
start opening these presents and they start exploding.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And so we get into this sort of situation where the Smilers start growing really, really big, and the Doctor has to do what he can to actually stop this new Christmas invasion.
Very good.
And that's my idea. I haven't worked out how it's going to end
Very
yet,
good.
but that's the basic
Okay.
concept of it.
Okay. That's cool. That's a good one.
Yeah, not bad off the top of my head.
No, it isn't. Mine is called Happy Christmas.
Okay.
So basically, every December, you have Santa's grottos.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, all of the people who were contending to be Santas have been killed, and basically now the Smilers have taken Santa costumes
Ooh, cool.
and become sort of these Smiler Santas.
Ooh, fantastic.
Because they're all robotic, and it's called the new reign of Santas. So everywhere around the world where there's a Santa's grotto, there's a Smiler, and basically they're every child who comes in, or every person who comes in, gets taken and used and turned into a sort of Smiler type thing, and basically they are hypnotised to sort of bring people to these grottos.
Yeah.
And basically the kids are going around the world to try and capture them. So the Doctor and Nardole arrive.
Oh, Nardole.
So it's somewhere in between,
Yeah.
around this sort of series 10 before that point. And Nardole's captured, being rubbish. So Nardole's taken off into the thing and is captured. And the Doctor actually tries to trap himself to find out what's actually happened to Nardole, and try to rescue these children by finding out the process of what actually happens to them, how they become Smilers, where they're taken, and he has to try and stop the Santa Smilers, but the only way to do so is to try and become one himself.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah.
No, I really like that. That's really good. And actually, since we said earlier on about how difficult it is to come up with something new in terms of Christmas episodes, let's face it, we have just done that.
And that was for both of us. That was probably better than most Who to Faces.
Yeah, that's right.
I
I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope
Yes.
you've enjoyed the show more generally.
Yes.
How can people get hold of us?
Well, you can get us on Twitter at drwhotime_.
Yeah.
You can get us on also on Twitter at Decalls Address.
Yeah, which is Mark Freak Geek, Mark with a C.
We've got we've got our website at missleadersmoonadventures.weebly.com. We've got a Podomatic feed at Doctor Time and Space
Yeah, and also a YouTube channel.
at Mr. Lewis Moon.
Yeah, so you can leave comments on any of those things.
Yes.
And we love getting comments, so anybody that wants to either sort of discuss their thoughts on the Last Christmas, we'd
Yes.
appreciate that. If people have got their ideas of what they would have as a story for Who to Face, based on the 12th Doctor and the Smilers,
Yeah.
we'd love to
I'll
hear
post some questions
these
later on.
ideas. Yeah, so you're going to tweet a few of these things out,
Yeah.
are you?
Um,
And just generally, I guess, what are people's thoughts on the Doctor Mysterio? What do people think it's going to be like?
next week then
Yep.
we're taking a little seasonal break
Yep.
now then. This is the last time we'll see you for 10 days.
Oh.
We always look forward to to having the podcast on Saturdays, but that will change. As we said earlier on in the show, we'll be back on Holiday Tuesday, so that's the 27th of December, which we we seem to do every year, because last year we did it on the 27th of December.
Yeah, I think it's usually it's usually good time for things to return to a bit of normality.
Yes. So we'll be back then, and our main thing is to review this year's... It's episode 191, and we will be reviewing... Yes, our first review in quite a long time. The this year's season special, the Return of Doctor Mysterio.
Okay. We will be pressing the magic randomizer.
We will be giving you the latest news and views, plus giving you a little bit of a trailer breakdown for Series 10.
Excellent. And we'll be probably doing a game show of some sort.
3-minute rant.
3-minute rant. Maybe related to the Christmas special, who knows?
Who knows? We like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, people.
We do. Have a good one, folks.
We hope you have a very good Christmas. Hope you, we're going to have a rest from the podcast. We're going off to have a little Christmas party and some food, Christmas related, now.
May Santa bring you lots of Doctor Who goodies.
Yes, please.
And not be a dream.
Yeah, please have a very good Christmas. I'm not going to say a Happy New Year yet, because we'll say that next week. But hope you have a good Christmas. Hope you get everything you wanted, and hope you have a very good time. We'll see you on Holiday Tuesday again. Should we sing them out with a Wish You a Merry Christmas song?
You can.
Okay. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh yes! We'll see you next time. Same time.
Same space.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Goodbye.